What happened on 25th June has left many of us shaken. Some lives will never be the same again. There are some things we expected based on the pattern of how these mandamanos turn out, but I think this has gone beyond. Like it's like we've gone a notch higher. Lives were lost, unfortunately. Businesses destroyed, looting took place, and once again, police brutality on our streets. The turn that we've seen is the looting and the abuse of police. Well, police are abusing us, and now there is no fear of police. Remember how millennials and the Gen X's, how you would see a police officer and you just want to walk straight and you're thinking, did I carry my ID? Do I have, there are even those days, kitambo kidogo, if you have a gadget like a radio or something, you need to have the receipt with you because you will be arrested for having stolen goods. I mean, there's a time in this country we feared policemen, but today a woman like me would stand in front of a cop and question him. A young boy would run after a cop, and it's just a ton of events. Things have really, really changed. And as a pastor, as a spiritual leader, I cannot stay silent. I love Kenya. I love Kenya. If you know me, you know I love Kenya. Kenya is my country. I have been out there. I have been out of the country, and I have seen and experienced good things out there, but I came back home. Many of my friends are still out there and enjoying life, and they have good lives, but I love my country, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I don't keep quiet when it comes to national matters. I understand the pain behind the protests. I have protested on my social media. I've not been able to go to any of the mandamanos, let me just be honest. I'm away this week, that's why I didn't go. But I've always wanted, I want to go on the streets. Probably I've never gained courage, but I'm always on the edge. I'm I want to go. But that's another story. I protest where I can. And I agree that our young people need jobs. We need our dignity restored. We need to know and be sure that our children have a future. There is a future for our children in this country. There is a frustration that parents have. They want to send their children abroad. And that's why we're even seeing many are being conned as they're trying to take their children abroad. You will see people are desperate. And they want to leave this country because they're not proud of what we have become. But now in this mandamano, we have seen property destroyed, and we are destroying property with our own hands. Businesses have been broken into. Fear has been caused. I can imagine that lady. She was in her hotel, and goons came in, and she's there with her workers. You can imagine the kind of trauma that we have now created that these people will have to live with for the rest of their lives. We are hurting the very people we claim to fight for. We are hurting them. The same people we're claiming that I am fighting for my children. I'm fighting for the future of my children. I'm fighting for the future of my parents. But we are hurting them in the process, right? So many people who had jobs before the morning of 25th June 2025 do not have job in the wake of June 26, 2025. Why? Because their businesses were destroyed. They are now unemployed, not because they were fired, but because the same people who are fighting for job creation are destroying current jobs. You see what I'm saying? So, what are we doing? This was not the agenda. This is not what we are fighting for, and this is not how we are fighting. This is not how we should be fighting. This is not the way. This is not the agenda for the demonstrations, right? So, and this is not what justice looks like, because now these people will also want justice. We are fighting for justice, but in the process, we are being unjust. You get what I'm saying? So two wrongs do not make a right. We need to decide, how are we going to fight this battle? Okay, at the same time, I must go back to police brutality. I've talked about how we saw policemen being, attacked by citizens. But there is also, on the other hand, I saw another video. There are goons who are beating a man, and police vehicles are just passing, and it's like, you go on and do your thing. And on other instances, we saw civilians being beaten by policemen. So, and you look at these things and you're like, is this my country? Am I breathing the same air with these people? Is this truly my brother? Is this my uncle? Is this my dad? Because I saw another one fall. He was running and he fell, and his gun went, ikaslide and on the comment section, somebody said, that's someone's dad. Exactly. That is someone's dad. So these policemen are people with families. On the other hand, these people who are looting and fighting and demonstrating are also people who belong to families. So there needs to be a balance. We need to go back to the drawing board. The role of the policemen needs to be understood, enforced, and protected by citizens and for citizens. Not to brutalize them, you know what I'm saying? In that, when you beat and shoot or harm innocent people, you're breaking trust. And that's how all this began. Like, trust has been broken. It's not those days when, something happens, someone threatens you, and you're like, nitakuitia police, I'm going to take you to the... Because you're like, if I take you to the police station, we are insecure when it comes to how the police are protecting us. There is no justice on one hand, and on the other hand, there is no respect. It's like we don't respect the uniform anymore. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So when law enforcement does not protect its citizens, the citizens take it upon themselves to protect themselves. Yeah. And now they see the cops as the enemy. But this is not how it's supposed to be. This is not the order of things. This is not good. It's not good. It is bad. We are at a bad place as at now. I would pray and wish for there to be no another maandamano. Like, wacha ikwe ya mwisho. And we go back to the drawing board and talk, have a good conversation, an honest conversation. Let's look at where we are and where we're headed. What do we desire? What is the outcome that we're looking for? There must be accountability on our side as citizens and as people who are protesting, and there has to be accountability also from the government side. There needs to be a balance. So we need to go back to the drawing board and ask the hard questions. So far, what have we resolved? So far, if we can now go back and assess what we have done, what have we resolved? What are we building? Are we building or breaking down? We need to ask ourselves, is our pain turning into purpose or just more pain? Is our pain, because that businesswoman, that businessman is in pain because of the prices of goods, in that they have to raise prices every now and then, but now even their stock is gone. You get? Are we building or are we breaking ourselves? So when I loot my neighbor's shop, have I built that person or have I broken that person? Are we not doing more harm than what the government is doing? We need to go back to the drawing board and decide what the outcome we're looking for. Okay? What do we want to see in our country and what do we need to do? Let's assess where we have come from. So far, what have we achieved? As far as I'm concerned, I'm seeing like we're going on a downward spiral. So we need to go back to the drawing board. That's my 2 cents. 2, 3, 4, 10 cents. That's where I'm at right now. Okay? So let's talk. Let's talk about this on the comment section.